Hi guys, I've contacted a couple of you about this really cool new sort of cryptocurrency concept, and I said I was going to explain that a little bit more. I'm just going to try and simplify it as much as possible. So basically it's sort of like a social platform of cryptocurrency. It's in the developmental stages at the moment. It's been created by professors and scientists from Stanford University, and I just want to give a little breakdown about it because I know like cryptocurrency sounds like really scary or like to a lot of people complicated, because quite a lot of the time it is. But this thing that they've created is really clever. It works on an app on your phone, so when you think about mining and stuff like that and blockchains, you don't really have to think about that because it sort of does it all for you. If you wanted to join it and you didn't want to do anything else, then literally you could download this app, which takes like 2 minutes. You put in your real name, your phone number, because it will verify your phone number to make sure you're not a robot. And the little ID that I'll give you if you're interested in joining. Basically all you have to do is every 24 hours push that button and this total will keep on creeping up, and that's it. If that's like the bare minimum. So once you've downloaded it, and that literally would, all you'd need to know would be that. So let me just go into a bit about it. So I basically was very skeptical of this because most of these schemes and things, and I even did a Bitcoin scheme before where I paid like £70 and I ended up, it was some pyramid thing, and I ended up losing that £70 because it crashed or whatever. But this thing doesn't actually, you don't have to put any money into it. So, you know, if it crashes or whatever in the future, so what I'm saying is I don't think it's a scam, but if it crashes or whatever, you literally haven't put anything into it. So basically, you don't even have to worry about that. Yeah. So it's a social platform of cryptocurrency that is, it's basically in, there's 3 stages. The first stage, second stage, third stage. It's in the second stage now. I literally joined yesterday. It gave me 1 pi for joining up, and since then it's just been ticking away, and that's how much I've got in one day. And it's trying to, so basically they've got a whole host of information which I read on their website, and I can provide that if you want. It's very long-winded. There's like a bit about them, there's a whole load of jargon about Bitcoin, some of it which is like, if you don't know anything about cryptocurrency, is going to be like really like whoa. And then actually when you get right down to the bottom, there's quite a lot about them as a company, and that is like the really interesting stuff. So I'm just going to try and summarize. With Bitcoin, it relied on a lot of farming and blockchains and mining, and if you want to make money from it, you have to be really on it with that kind of stuff. And it sort of got a bit exploited because you had, when it first started out, it had not really much value, and then it just soared in value. You had a lot of companies being sprung up that were literally, had loads of computers to farm the Bitcoin and make a lot of money. So basically most of the Bitcoin is in a few pots, if you see what I mean, rather than being spread evenly. So this is how they're trying to come away from that, to make it really accessible for people everywhere. The reason I was very skeptical about it, and it kept saying like, why would they just be giving me pi for no reason? The reason is their whole concept. The thing that sold this to me is the concept behind it, because when I just thought cryptocurrency, blah blah blah, I can't be bothered with it anymore, it's too complicated, too confusing, and I just don't know enough about it. But the thing that I thought was really cool about this is their concept behind it, where they're more trying to go down the route of being eco-friendly, and being like eco-friendly, and trying to make it really simple for people to do, so more people can do it. So basically, the way they've done it is you have to have a phone. You have to have a phone, and a phone number. You have to put your name in, and you have to verify your number. This sort of eliminates as much as possible the ability for robots to mass like mine. The reason you've got to tap it once every 24 hours is so that it's proving you're a real person. Right, so the first stage was they had to meet, obviously like any business for instance will have a business plan. Their first stage was they had to meet, get so many people. The only way this works is if they get enough people to join their system to then make it desirable. So the first stage was they had X amount of people, I would imagine, and developing it, and this here would have been higher. The amount of pi you get per hour would have been higher for the people that very first started, as an incentive for if you get in earlier, you get more of an incentive. So it will have gone down a bit because it's in the second stage. When it's in the third stage is when it hits 100 million people that are using this network, and it will then, when it hits that, I assume from my understanding of it, it's a bit like the Dragon's Den. When you go in, you need to sort of like show that the thing works, show that it can run smoothly, and then it becomes more appealing. That is, you can see up here, there's chats. So if you go into those, there's loads of moderators in there that you can chat to, that say basically like when the third stage is sort of, would be when it gets readily accepted as a cryptocurrency. So at that point, you will then have this backlog of pi. So whatever value it is then, it will have a value because it will be a cryptocurrency. It may be then that it creeps up in price and becomes quite valuable. So basically, the longer you've been in it, the better it is for you. But how I'm looking at it is basically for me to push my button once every 24 hours is not really a big deal at all. I mean, I go on so many different apps. So if in the end this doesn't work out, fine. I haven't lost anything. I haven't paid anything. If it does work out, I could potentially have something that's worth quite a lot of money. There are other things you can do. So, and the reason as well that I think this is quite a strong idea is because they are taking away from the farming, where Bitcoin has actually become quite environmentally unfriendly, and this is becoming a very environmentally friendly way. And because of the way society is now, people are really going down that route, So the whole concept and the idea behind it, I think, is really clever. The reason they need you to use your phones is with all the blockchains and things like that. Before, it had to be verified and took some time for things. It's complicated, but with this, they're sort of using your devices as a way of proving blockchains are true or false. So it's constantly correcting and mining itself. I mean, everything that I'm saying is just coming from my head, like with what I've read and my understanding of it. Like, it might not be like 100% what I'm saying, but the general idea is through the chats what I can come to terms with. But also, if you go in the chats, they're very, I don't think it's a scam, because if you go in the chats, they're very open and honest about it. Like right now, they are like saying to you, like people are joining and saying, how do I get the pi out? How do I get the money? But right now, one pi is worth nothing. It has zero value. One pi equals one pi. One pi doesn't equal £1 or $1 or €1. It has no value. But eventually, in time, it may have value, in which case you will have your little, I've already got 7 there. So basically, I wrote down a few notes just to see if there's anything else I need to let you guys know about. Yeah, so basically, yeah, I think I've pretty much covered everything. The chats, as I was saying, they're really good. The moderators, basically, when you sign up, It's very easy. You just go to the Play Store or the Apple Store or whatever and download it. It literally takes like 1 minute. You put your name, your details in, and then it will ask you for the like little code, because they only want, it's not like one of them things where they want loads of random people to join. They want little, say for instance, if I'm inviting people, they want people within like a trusted sort of circle that are going to use it, that to build it up, rather than loads of randoms that are then not going to use it. Becomes not as great. So basically you put that little code in and then it'll bring you to this page. Like I said before, you literally just whack that. So you do that every 24 hours. If you want to, you can click on it. It'll tell you how long's left till your next one that you have to click. And here's the chats that I was telling you about. You can literally click on there and go and chat to people. This bit here will tell you lots of different things. I'm not going to push that because that'll come up with my personal information, but you can click on that one. It'll show you your name, it'll show you your username, etc. Yeah, like I'm saying, the way their whole language, the moderators, they're very open and honest. Like they're not, when people come in the chat and try to say pi has value, they tell them no, it doesn't have value, please don't put around false information. They're very open and honest. Basically, this is a concept, it's an idea, you can get behind it and sort of get in now and join in early to help build like and move forward their concept, and this is a way of them rewarding you. That will then, when it actually does become live, you know, whatever you've got may very well be worth something. It may be worth nothing, but if you'd gone back to when they were creating Bitcoin, I'm sure a lot of people would have just been like, cryptocurrency, what sort of thing? And like a lot of people have, that are now kicking themselves. There's no risks. The only thing I would say is don't sign out of it. You can literally just go like that to come out of it. If you actually sign out of it, it will take away anything that you were mining within the last 24 hours, so you'll lose the pi. So just literally, boom. And for verifying the number, your phone number, you'll need to go into your profile that I just showed you. So yeah, that's literally it. Like, if you have any more questions, let me know. I'm gonna post a couple of links. I don't know if that explanation made it any clearer, but I'm gonna post a couple of links to the things I mentioned. So yeah, let me know if you need anything else.